and how do people who filed a complaint against her want to react? Gaurav, just stay with me. I also want to bring in Mr. Vineet Jindal, who's a complainant in this matter. Mr. Jindal, Richa Chadha has put up a long post seemingly apologizing. What do you have to say about this?
Akshita, this is not about apology. It is about the matter, the way she is making disrespectful and disgrace the sacrifice of our soldiers. Can we accept this kind of apology when the lady who is an Bollywood actor, our country has given so much of love to her, but the way she is disgraced our Indian Army and making a comment upon a specific statement made by Indian Army Commander-in-Chief. So this is not about apology only. I have made a complaint, and definitely I will go for further actions for lodging an FIR, and I already been requesting the City Delhi Police to lodge an FIR and issue the arrest warrant against her. This is not done. We are not going to leave now.
Okay, so you're saying you don't accept this apology and you're going to follow this up no matter what?
Definitely. It is not like that. How can we allow the people who has come forward by making any kind of comment against Indian Army who has saved us? We are leaving this country because of them. They are fighting on our border, and let I tell her that Richa Chadha can go to Galwan and just sit for a minute even. She's not there to do this.
No, so in her statement, Mr. Jindal, she goes on to talk about how she comes from an army background. In the sense, she talks about her family members who served in the army. So she says this is an emotive issue for me. Do you buy that?
No, if it is so, then she must be taken care of by making this kind of statement when she's done this. It is only when the complaints have been filed and the people have been just after her. That's why she is making this kind of apology. Why not she has withdrawn that statement just after seeing that okay, this is wrong. She is not saying that. So we are not allow her to go like this, and whatever the action should be needed and the steps should be needed, definitely I'll go for that, and the arrest should be there.
All right, Mr. Vineet Jindal, thank you for joining us here on India Today. So the complainant maintaining that this was a reaction to the fact that there's been outrage and to the fact that many stood up and said we're going to file a complaint against Richa Chadha, and that's what's prompted this kind of an apology. He maintains that he will take this case forward and is not going to let it go against Richa Chadha.
Raksha Mantri gave the statement about the POJK. As you are aware that parliamentary resolution already exists on the subject, so therefore it's nothing new. It is part of the parliamentary resolution. As far as the Indian Army is concerned, Indian Army will carry out any order which is being given by the Government of India. And whenever such orders are given, we'll always be ready for it.
I want to bring in Abhishek Bhalla also on this broadcast. Abhishek, I was discussing with Gaurav earlier about this comment, and keeping the apology aside for just a moment, the tweet itself that triggered the controversy where Richa Chadha says Galwan says hi to a comment that was made on POK. That itself reeks completely of ignorance.
I mean, if it was an attempt at being humorous and witty, Akshita, I must say that it's gone horribly wrong. Because, you know, there's nothing humorous about this. And I don't know what Richa Chadha was trying to say, because it's completely out of context. Not just is it insensitive, and also the fact that, you know, she exposes herself, that how little knowledge she has perhaps on the subject. Because what the army commander was talking about is nothing but just plain facts. He was perhaps asked a question, is the Indian Army ready to you know, carry out an operation in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir? And his answer was, which several generals have given in the past, that there's a parliamentary resolution of the Indian Parliament that says that Pakistan-occupied Kashmir is a part of India, and if required, if the government of the day gives orders to carry out any operation, the Indian military is up for it. That's it. Not much has to be read into it. To compare it with Galwan, seriously, it doesn't make any sense. Now, she's come out with an apology. She says her maternal uncle and maternal grandfather were in the Indian Army. Her grandfather took a bullet in the 1962 war. So that clearly shows that she has respect for people who have served in these harsh conditions. So seriously, I mean, this was completely out of context. What the trigger was, it's for Richa to explain.